Somebody's suffering more than you. Joe Rogan.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Poor Joe. What happened to poor Joe?
Well, we'll find out. And then we'll
Roseanne's doing good, right?
Yeah, she's doing great.
You know, and just keep going. It's tough for people right now. Whew. And I know people are getting censored, and what the hell, you know. What are we going to do about it? You wanted to talk about that. It's terrible.
Yeah, for sure. And we were, as we got here, Jamie was informing me that there's some new YouTube policy that is saying, what was the descriptions of our podcast?
Number 1357 got a human review with harmful or dangerous acts. That's you and Ari just talking.
What
Do you remember what we talked about? We probably joked around about harmful or dangerous acts.
Yeah, so I mean, it's discussing it, but I think that they're saying it's in the video of it. Like they're saying, "Is this in your video?" And I would say no. It's just discussing it. So that's I don't know.
So his video just got a yellow, by the way. Just so you know, one video. Yes,
That's what this is about?
his channel's not demonetized. His whole episode got one of the... So, for those that don't know, because not everyone makes YouTube videos.
This is the first time they've ever seen a yellow.
That used to happen to us all the time before we got permanently, completely 100% demonetized. When they see demonetizing a video, what they mean is that you will get limited ads. You'll still get ads. You'll still make money on it. You'll make less because... the way they have it is they have a group of advertisers that want to advertise only on controversial stuff. Yeah. Then they have some advertisers like, we don't give a fuck. They have views, do it. So when you have yellow, you get less ads run. But you got to figure to somebody like Rogan, that one episode's a lot of money for him. So he got one video that was yellowed. He didn't get a warning. He didn't get a strike. He didn't get a copyright. He just got hit with one yellow video.
My big takeaway from this, too, is that this is the first time they've ever experienced this. Joe is mystified by the yellow icon.
Well, because he said, here's what it is.
People have been getting this for years.
He may have been getting more, but I think this is the first time his appeal has been denied. Because he goes, yeah, we appealed it, and a human reviewed it, and they said it still was. There probably what was happening over at YouTube was... when he would appeal his yellows, they go, it's Rogan, yeah. Because a lot of the times, the videos are yellow, and not because of anything you say, but because certain... Memology has actually done some stuff with this. Depending on what tags you use, and the algorithm will pick up what you're saying, and there's certain words that'll get it yellow, and then you have to appeal it. I think he's always been used to him winning his appeals, and this time he didn't win his appeal.
So can we appeal that, or is that it?
Maybe they want to open a dialogue. Oh, that's it?
That's it. Yeah.
It's being appealed through a deeper process right now, and we'll wait to see what they say. But
what is that? What is that, Royce? Hey, Royce. How much money do they owe us?
$3,642.
Okay, and they owe me $1,247. Is there any... Because they owe us money. That's money. That's not money that's arguable. That's money owed.
They ran ads on our
show.
Do
we have a deeper process that we can...
It's, and a lot of people... Oh, man, I love that we're picking this up because this is exactly...
What's the deeper process?
We don't have a deeper process.
No.
Other channels don't have a deeper process. When you get appealed and you get denied, that's it. It's over. There's nothing you can do. There is nothing you can do. But you are going to have your video appealed by a deep... There's not a deeper process. You have somebody's phone number at YouTube that you are calling, and they probably said, we'll see what we could do. We'll see what we could do.
This is just a very new thing that just happened within the last 2 weeks on YouTube, and we're probably one of the first channels to get it.
Have we had one of our guys look...
One of the first channels to get what? Harmful or whatever? We've gotten that before. That's bullshit.
They're going to act like they're the victims here. This is the whole process.
No. This has happened to us before. Maybe this is the first time you've ever gotten it, but our videos have been put behind age restriction for this very reason. Mm-hmm. Demonetized and put when we were monetized. We're not anymore on YouTube, but demonetized and then put behind an age restriction that would say you must be over 18 because this may contain harmful or blah 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 behavior.
Look at the video to see if they can find something that they think
is
is
you
harmful.
should research and find out what exactly.
It was broken into clips and put on the clips channel, and those were all allowed.
Okay.
So I don't know. if it was a different person,
A
that looked
different
at it
person,
and a
probably.
different
So it's
person's eyes.
subjective
Yeah,
then,
I believe
maybe.
so,
Yeah.
I have to say I'm rather staggered at what they allow and don't allow. I am so glad I'm fucking old because I'll be passing away from this fucking realm soon enough. Please, God. Nothing makes any fucking sense.
It doesn't
at
make
all.
sense, but I think it's fascinating. It's interesting to watch all these different people scrambling for control.
Who?
Different people, Royce. All kinds of different people.
Who? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, they're
for
scrambling for control. They want to control the way people communicate, and they also want to make a profit. See, part of this is they're incentivizing people to do shows that they can profit off of. So if you have a show that has no bad language, if you have a show that has no controversial topics, those shows are more appealing to advertisers.
His very first yellow video, and he's acting like this.
Mm-hmm.
We went through years. The first
And
1
he's
year of our
still
existence.
he's still towing the line.
The first 1 year of our existence, we were fucking for 6 months. We were not allowed to stream on YouTube.
But you notice he's still covering for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's advertising.
Well, let's see.
Man.
So for them as a business, they'll look at someone like me and say, well, this is a limited advertiser option. But I just think they're looking at it incorrectly.
Because it's you. Because it's you, they're looking at it incorrectly.
If you looked at the popularity of it, you'd say, well, there's a lot of people that are paying attention to this. Just find the right ads. Find ads for, I don't know, find ads for shit that's a little bit more risky. I don't know what that would be. Corvettes, whiskey, I don't know.
Corvettes and whiskey. The Joe Rogan story. It's pussy crushing mentality. That's to say, Corvettes and whiskey are risky.
It's like I almost understand the people.
Corvette is GM. That you think when they buy ads like, well, the Corvette thing, we'll put that on a race war site because it's a little riskier.
Well, if you speed in them, they are.
I guess you're right.
And if you combine the two, they're very risky. If you combine Corvettes and whiskey, you got a real fucking spicy situation. But I love that, like, these billionaires, like, and these, like, multimillionaires, like, when they get, anyone who gets to the top of their field, like a Joe Rogan, right? I almost understand, like, the sociopaths that go to, like, Epstein Island more than I understand a guy who can get to be as successful in Joe and be like, yeah, like, Corvettes and whiskey. And you're like, that's it for you? That's the only
Well,
thing
he
you're
used
bringing?
to sell fleshlights too, don't forget.
But it's like how you've got all this success and money, and you're like you just dug deep into your brain, and the first two things you pulled out were Corvettes and whiskey.
Whatever the fuck you want to sell, but it's not like we're not saying dangerous things like encouraging people to do harmful things or asking people to do illegal things.
Hi, Joe. My name's Royce, and I'd like to welcome you to 2016. I know that you haven't been here, but this has been happening. Just because it affected you now. Do you know how, they're playing ignorant. You know how many people since 2016 have been sending Joe's? It happened to Alex Jones, right? For example, this is a great example. You know this is what's happening. You know it's happening. And now because you get hit with one yellow video, you're like, my word, I never, how could it?
Yeah, but Alex has to clear up all that legal stuff, man.
Remember
He said some
that?
crazy stuff about
Yeah.
Sandy Hook people, man. The Media Matters. The Media Matters video told me that. Remember that?
Yes,
Remember
when
Media
he's
Matters, Joe.
And then he had Alex back on, so then everybody all forgot about all that whole Media Matters said it.
And him and Alex both cashed their checks and left.
Well, then
We're just
you must
people
have done
talking.
something. Maybe you don't realize it.
I don't think so. I think what it's
Nah, I don't think so. I'm perfect. There's no way they could be
I feel like
criticizing
she's-
me.
I feel like she's doing that to get him to say that.
Yeah.
I feel like Roseanne's smarter than people think. Like,
Right.
she's a mess now, but she's still smarter than Joe Rogan. She's like, yeah, maybe you just did something wrong. Oh no, it was a mistake. I could never.
It's more like
she's
is
getting him to say he's perfect, which is great bait.
they've got very rigid ideas of what is or is not suitable for advertising. And maybe this is coming down from the ad executives. Maybe this is coming down from the people that are at the top that have a much more progressive stance on things. What you'd call progressive, more I would say like hard left, like a more hard left
You
stance.
mean censors?
Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
they're
that,
censors.
and they think it's okay, and they think it's there's a lot of people that are getting censored that are not not just people that are on the right, which I'm not.
You mean the way Ben Pixels, your little censoring company, was taking down documentaries made about you that were made about Brendan Schaub that were clearly fair use? You mean like that? See, Rogan, this is why we don't feel bad for you, bud, because you're doing it yourself. Do you know how many people we said, hey, man, we had a clip that was completely fair use with Fighter and the Kid, and they took it down. Base Frequency had his entire documentary taken down, even though, again, 100% fair use. You're doing it, and you're fine with it because it's your little buddies. But when it happens to you, you clutch your fucking pearls, right? Like, I can't believe me? I'm one of the biggest shows on YouTube. How can it be me?
Do you know what he sounds like? Another guy that we like to make fun of on the show, Keemstar.
No,
It's not fair. But it's not fair. I'm like the super duper cool YouTube guy. I always liked you guys. Why are you being mean to me? Like just the suck ups where you're like, ugh, have some dignity. Seriously.
Not on the right, but people that are,
In the
journalists. I'm certainly more in the middle. Like I just came from a gun range.
Check it out. That's who's getting it.
Yeah.
That's who's getting the axe, are people in the middle, because it is a war between those two far right and far left factions.
Yes, and they're
to
so
control
similar.
labor.
No, Roseanne. Look, I know you've had Brendan Dilley on your show, so you're probably not the smartest person that's ever lived. Or maybe you are. Maybe you're just using it to grift. I don't know. But the far right isn't even a thing anymore. You know what I mean? The far right isn't even a thing anymore. It's not a thing. That's not happening. No. There's nobody. There's not a war in YouTube between the far right and the far left for power. The left has the power. They have it. It's theirs. At least in the media and tech companies, it's theirs. They own it. There isn't a fight for power. The only place right-wingers are even allowed to exist is on Fox News and AM radio.
Well, they control the way people communicate and talk too. It's just people like controlling people. It's a natural thing. People want other people.
What kind of people?
People to comply.
People, dude.
When you see all these riots and like these protests where people are screaming at each other, they want power. I mean, whether it makes any sense.
And, there's riots and people screaming at each other and they want power. And, yellow videos for us. It's all the same.
Yeah, dude, it's like literally I'm just like somebody in Venezuela right now. You know what I mean? I'm getting hit in the chest with smoke grenades. I'm getting my food taken. My wife's being raped for a loaf of bread. And it's like, I get it, bro, because like my video turned yellow.
Well, one of them.
One of my thousands of videos. But it's like I lost a couple of $1,000s on that deal.
Sense or not.
And we've been sitting here not being monetized, and they haven't even reviewed the reapplication, and they're holding our money. But you're right, Joe. It must be hell for you.
It must be tough.
Not like these people are in a position to
By the way,
actually
money
do
we need far more than Joe Rogan.
Way more, yeah.
anything with that power, but they want people to comply. When they're yelling at someone, they want people to decide that this person's good or this person's bad, or they're right or they're wrong. I mean, this is what a lot of it is. It's a psychological game.
It's just it's a social experiment.
I don't know if it's an experiment, but it's...
And I heard, and maybe this could be wrong, but I heard that when he had Alex on, he called YouTube to ask them, or his people called YouTube to ask him,
Can I have
Alex on without being banned? Yeah.
The whole country is an experiment.
And then that's another, that just shows you that's another unfair luxury that people are entitled to that other creators aren't. Because we don't even have the option, not that we would, but we don't even have the option to call YouTube and say, is this okay?
Right.
We're just swinging it past you guys before we do it. I don't want to get, you know what I mean? There is no clear communicative set of standards that you can go, like even TV, they had like standards and practices, and they would just tell you whether or not you could do something. And he's like, yeah, I just called in. It's like, whatever, man. Now we're going through a deeper process. Royce, we're going to go through a deeper process to try to get that fixed, which means you're going to fix that.
That'll get fixed.
Self-government, right?
Right.
And this is an experiment in self-expression, because this is the first time that anyone, like Sally Montgomery, whatever, and pick a name, this lady can start a YouTube channel and make a lot of sense and start talking some shit and be funny, and all of a sudden she's got 20 million
Well, if her name's Sally, she's probably not that funny.
subscribers, and she's making a ton of loot. But maybe she starts talking shit about things, and maybe
Isn't he a little too old to say loot?
Well, I don't know. Everyone's getting old, man.
Yeah, I guess. But I don't say loot.
Sally likes to joke around about certain things, and they'll just decide, well, this is not suitable for advertising, or this is dangerous or harmful. And what people decide is harmful and isn't harmful. The problem is, this is not First Amendment, right? And they, in their defense, they're not keeping me from saying these things, but they're incentivizing you to not say these things by costing you money. Now the question is, are they doing?
Oh, so like blackmail. Like that. Bribery? Like maybe more like that?
Like extortion.
Oh, there you go. Extortion.
Doing this because they just want to maximize their profits, and this is just how the deals that they have with advertisers, or they're doing it because of their personal views on what you're saying. And that's where things get squirrely, right? When a person tells you personally, Roseanne, I don't like the way you talk about the country or about liberals or about this or about that, so we're going to try to silence your voice. There's a lot of that happening too, whether people like it or
there has
not.
been for a really long time.
But there's also a lot of left-wing journalists that are getting silenced.
There's also Ben Pixels that are silencing people. Again, don't let every time Joe Rogan kind of makes a little bit of sense, or everyone's like, see, he actually kind of gets it. He's doing these things. Bent Pixels is censoring Rogan clips.
And they use...
And fair use, by the way,
they
Rogan
use
clips.
bad faith copyright.
Bad faith copyright, block things worldwide, not to get the word out. What they did, the Brendan Schaub thing, for example, Beige Frequencies documentary, whether you agree with it or not, whether you like Brendan Schaub or not, should have never been hit with any sort of copyright block.
There's a lot of people that are independent journalists that are getting pushed out. It's like Tulsi Gabbard. She's.
I know you probably fucked her, Rogan. I get it, dude. I get it. I know. I know you have a bedroom in your little studio there. I get it. I know. Good for you, bro. I know. Rogan's another one of these normies that thinks that they're being cutting edge by having Tulsi Gabbard on.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders. Wow, way to really swing the pendulum. The only person you had on, and you had to ask permission, that was even slightly off the grid that was Alex Jones, and that's after you shit on him.
She's a liberal. She's a Democrat, but she's also a two-time. She served overseas.
She's also the five-time.
Two deployments, and she's a 6-year veteran, and she's more than a 6-year veteran, right? 6-year congresswoman. She's getting censored. She's suing Google. So they're not just going after people that are on the right. Obviously, she's on the left. She's running as a Democrat.
Joe, you stupid son of a bitch. We've said it on this show before, and it doesn't matter what side you believe in or don't. The right, whatever you want to consider the right, has been and is still getting censored more than people on the left, period. Just because there's a couple data points where every once in a while they take somebody down from the left doesn't mean that the only reason that Tulsi Gabbard, who's on the left, got taken down was because she wasn't playing their game in a lot of situations. The real reason that YouTube did it is they didn't like how Tulsi Gabbard, love her or hate her, it doesn't matter, single-handedly destroyed Kamala Harris's campaign by herself. By saying, you're just laughing about smoking weed. How many potheads have you locked up? That's all. That's what she said in a nutshell. The reason they went after her was because it's still going against the left. I don't think you understand, Joe. It's not about right or left. It's about an ideology now. And if you don't fall into line in every one of their views, you are considered the right. Everything is the right. That's not killing babies or taking away guns. If you're someone who's like, I'm pro-choice and I think there is a wage gap, but we should have messed with the Second Amendment. You're out of there. You get kicked out. You're considered the right.
You have to be a gun-grabbing, wage gap screaming lunatic with in a dress.
No exceptions. No exceptions. No exceptions.
And even if you're all of those things but still white, you're still not even in the club.
Yeah. If you're not eating babies.
For president, she's suing them because they censored her search results.
Right.
Allegedly. I don't know enough about all that. There's no way I could.
Yeah, cover your butt, boy. Cover your butt, boy.
Well, they also hold people's numbers of followers down. They can flip a switch and you lose
they can
followers.
shadow ban you.
Yeah, that's what everybody's
By the way,
shadow.
she's just an old fucking mush-brained idiot. It's like, they're even like, they'll flip a switch. Like, she pictures just like a fucking big giant. Hang on, boy. Like, what was the machine in Ghostbusters? When he was
the containment
lever
unit.
down,
Yeah.
like an old school cartoon lever. Oh, you lost all those followers. Oh, hang on. We're gonna let Alex Jones back on Twitter. He's gonna get his followers back. It hums. It's like a machine. Steam's coming out. Jesus Christ, Roseanne.
Everyone I know is shadow banned. So
Well,
what?
Santino
It doesn't
actually had a
matter.
conversation.
I mean, are people doing it for the advertising money? That's what I ask myself. I don't make a dime, and I've been at it for 20 years. I mean,
Yeah, Roseanne, I get it because you saved a lot of money because you were a very famous comic and you had a sitcom. Like you
We're
were
the highest paid person in television.
You were one of the
Was
highest
she
paid
not?
people in television. Yeah, she was in television when you were on TV, especially towards the end of the Roseanne show. That thing was
Well, that's when they all cash out.
Yeah.
Like the show's gonna be
so.
over.
Yeah, you could do it for no money. Good for you, but not everybody else can. You know what I mean?
I don't even care. It's like I got money and I live on a macadamia nut farm. Like, okay, well, that's a beautiful little dream to have, but I can't afford to live on a macadamia nut farm.
I don't make a dime. In fact, every time I open my mouth, I cost myself some money.
You mean on social media?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I won't be on there anymore.
Roseanne, you need a goddamn podcast. Your
I
podcast.
know.
Hey, I wonder what network it could be on. You know, Roseanne, I have a studio here. You need a podcast.
You're talking like that retarded text-to-speech.
Yeah.
Is that what Joe Rogan's inner monologue sounds
Yep.
like? Hey, Roseanne, why don't you come to my podcast?
That's what it is. Gee,
And you
I
know
wonder.
Joe's going to be like, Joe would be like, where it's just whatever. He's going to have some underpaid people in there. And because you got to make it easy for a Roseanne type.
Of course.
But that's like a compound media type thing. You hire somebody like Roseanne, it's like an Artie Lang thing where she'll be into it for a couple episodes and then she'll be
stop,
eating
yeah.
meatball subs on the desk and being like, "Let's not go really."
No,
be
Joe, I'm
monster.
trying to get it,
Monster.
but people do not know what to tell me what to do.
Well, I can help you.
I told you.
I can help you. Hold on.
No.
He can help you.
People don't know what to tell me what to do.
Yes.
It's so because you don't know how to do something. It's other people's
They don't know how to teach her.
Is that not an enraging, like, that's such a weird,
It
like,
went from anybody else, but it's Roseanne. So, I mean, I kind of have this filter with her where it's like,
guess.
she's nuts.
Everything, she's just nuts.
Yeah, it's
No,
like
you're
listening
right.
to a crazy grandma. You're like, yeah, okay, Nana.
Your podcast
I know,
would be
Joe, I'm
monster.
trying to get it,
Monster.
but people do not know what to tell me what to do.
Well, I can help you.
I told you.
I can help you. Can I get just 10% and whatever?
I can
I
help you.
need someone to tell me what to do.
You're in the right place.
God,
Did this turn into a sales pitch?
Yeah, of course. Everything's.
I'm glad you walked in. When you walked in here today, I was like,
want
this woman needs a
everyone-
podcast.
You guys gotta see these kettlebells. They got it on it. It's really good, and you get that alpha brain. I've been taking that in between my Percocets.
damn it. Because I really need to tell people
Yes.
what's going on, and they don't even know.
Roseanne, though, you don't. You don't really need to tell people what's going on. I don't think anybody really cares.
Hey, Laura Loomer, you ever tried this alpha brain? It's really good. That's gonna be it next year. Watch. I'm here with my co-host Brendan Dilly. He's eating alpha brain.
Is that why his head's so big?
We're gonna be here with 24,000 subs next year, and these pricks are all gonna be on. So Alex Jones, Rogan, Brendan Dilly, Laura Loomer, and everybody else we've ever fucked with is all gonna be on a network, and we're just gonna be like, "What did we do? What the fuck did we do?"
Oppressive colonist, happy Friday, lads. $10. Fred.